Hey y'all, it's Natalie Renee and welcome back to my channel. So this video, I want to take y'all along with me in the pottery studio. I think I'm gonna go a few days over the course of the week and just show you guys my process, what I do, whether that's throwing on the wheel, hand building, picking up pieces. Just want to take y'all along with me. I started going back to pottery in October, so it's just been a couple of months of me at this studio, but I've really been enjoying my time, and at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you at least some of the pieces that I've already made and have at home. But yeah, if you are interested in pottery or want to see me go through the week in the studio, stay tuned. I'm here like right at 11 when the studio opens, so I'm hoping that there's not a lot of people in there so I can maybe record some content. Even if there are a lot of people, I'll still try to sneak you guys in there with me. So the studio is here on this cute little street. I just love how all of these buildings look. It just reminds me of, like, I don't know, a really, really old town. And it is just right up here on the left. So I want to start off by telling y'all why I'm even here. And what I mean by that is what got me into pottery in the first place. And the story really starts back in high school. Picture it. Senior year, I have half college classes, half high school classes, and I'm kind of just doing my own thing. And I have like 2 free periods at the end of the day. So I'm like, I might as well sign up for pottery. A bunch of my friends were in it. It's something I haven't done before. Why not? And background, I'm into art, all types of art. I've been into it ever since I was little. But when I joined pottery, it was like I fell in love. And I mean, seriously. But I mean, talk about being a beginner in high school. We learned to throw on kick wheels. Y'all see me here on the wheel right now with an automated pedal, but in high school, that was not the case. We also didn't have the best clay or glaze, but I just felt so creative in that space. And honestly, it was one of the best things I could have gotten into hobby-wise. It just really took off from there. Kinda. I started college that very next school year, and I have been wanting to do pottery every single year. I thought about it every semester, like, oh, when am I gonna go to the studio? When am I gonna go to the studio? And I just was never able to make time for it. I think I went once or twice to a paint your own pottery, and I did not like those glazes. And then I went to grad school and found a studio, but grad school was so crazy, I could just never find the right time. So here I am almost 6 years later. So let's get into what I'm actually doing here, like physically actually doing on the screen. As you can see, I am wheel throwing, and I think the hardest part for beginners is getting the clay centered on the wheel, which I was doing in the beginning of these clips. I've tried both using your hands at the top and the sidewall to center, and a method called coning, which is where you like condense the clay into your hands, bring it up into a cone, and then center it back down. I think I prefer to use a mixture of both depending on how the clay feels. What I mean by that is like whether the clay is fresh or it's reclaimed. And reclaimed clay is recycled clay, all the clay that we discard after we kill a pot, after we completely botch throwing it, or just scraps. All of that goes into the reclaimed clay. And sometimes I feel like the textures between fresh and reclaimed clay are very different. So I will change up how I choose to center based off that. And I feel like it's also just good practice for me to do both methods. So as you can see, or as you could see a little bit ago, I finished my first bubble cup, which was not my plan when I came in. I was supposed to be making a vase, but then I realized I don't quite have those skills yet. Well, but anyways, after centering, I make a hole in the clay and start pulling up the walls of my piece. I'm still trying different ways to pull up walls to get a consistent thickness throughout the piece, but today I used my fingers and a sponge, which you can see right here. And basically I just pull up a couple walls till I get my desired height. And basically after pulling up the walls and I feel like the shape is good, I start using my fingers on the inside of the piece, pushing out to make the bubble shape. And then I also push inwards with my fingers on the outside of the piece to really like dramatize the bubble. And then after I'm satisfied with it, I just use my wire, get that off the wheel and put it on a bat to dry for a few days. Here are my bubble pots or cups finished. And then here are some late Christmas ornaments that are ready to be fired. And then last thing today, I had to reglaze this piece because the color payout wasn't so good when it came out the kiln, which is not a problem. All I had to do was sand down the glaze and put some hairspray on it so that it will stick. I'm also only glazing halfway down the piece so that there's not too much pooling on the bottom when it goes in the kiln. All right, y'all, I have left the studio and look at this beauty. My other one I had to reglaze, but this one, beautiful. Hey y'all, it is day 2 of this pottery vlog. And as you can see, this is the same piece as the day prior. The new layers of glaze were taking way too long to dry and I was hungry and impatient, so I saved the rest for today. For this piece, I did 2 coats of the Amico glaze in Art Deco green, which is the one you see on there already. And then I added 2 more layers of this color called Temaku. The original layers of glaze are in the reverse order, so I thought switching it would give some interesting variations in the piece after it's fired. Now it's time to get into my ornaments from the previous day. I'm doing the ornaments in the color Smoky Merlot. Gotta shake that up real good. And then I'm doing the gingerbreads. I can't remember what color, but it will be on the screen. I'm doing the gingerbreads this other color, and the directions on that glaze say to apply uneven coats because once fired, it really gives off some interesting variations. So that is exactly what I did. And I am so excited to see what these ornaments look like when they come out. And I also threw on the wheel today, I didn't record any of that, but I made this little baby vase and a big version of the bubble pot. Hello y'all, it is the last day of the pottery vlog. As you can see, this is the bubble pot from previously. They are dried and leather hard now, not bone dry, or else I would not be able to do any trimming. But basically, I'm just trimming the piece. We have all of these different tools. So I'm just smoothing out the bubbles, working on the bottom to make sure it's even, and just getting out any, I guess, unevenness that I don't like. This is also a part of the trimming process, is centering. As you can see here, I am going back and forth. All that wobble is just going to give me more problems when I center, or more problems when I trim. But once I finally get it centered, I just slowly trim the piece, and yeah. As you can see, I am doing some hand building, I guess. I'm working on a slab that I rolled with the slab roller, and I'm making a hibiscus flower, like jewelry dish tray thing almost. So my method for this was to As you can see, shape out the petals, score the petals, and use some slip to stick the petals to each other by slightly overlapping them. My previous method for making this hibiscus tray was to roll out each petal individually, which caused so much unevenness and then essentially led to my piece cracking. So in order for my piece not to be broken, the piece that I, spent my hard work on and my energy on and fell in love with, I decided to take a different approach to this one. So right about here is when I realized that that method that I was doing that I thought was better was not really working, and it led to my petals kind of looking a little spaced out and leaving that one kind of empty. So I just cut it off, and I'm going to reattach it the same way that I was attaching all the petals to each other. As you can see, I was struggling with the placement, but all I had to do for this was score the top surface of the flower and the bottom surface of the petal, and then use slip to stick it together just like I did each other petal. So this is the point where I start getting a little excited because it is looking kind of more like the finishing product. I'm just smoothing all the petals down. I'll have to smooth it again. And then I'm taking this little scoring tool to kind of trace out where I want to cut the petals so that it can really give like a real flower look instead of just a little circular flower. Nothing wrong with the circle petals, but I just thought that it would give it a nice little touch to score the edges and cut those off. So this is pretty much where I left off with the hibiscus jewelry dish. What I have to do is let it firm up a little bit, and then I'm going to be able to make it into that bowl shape. Thank y'all for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.